Welcome to our basically this edition of our release webinar. This webinar will be covering basically the features that we released last night, and it was a very exciting actual release for us. We had a lot of good features based on the feedback that you guys have provided to us in the past little while that we've implemented. And I'll be going over, all these features, how to utilize them, how to basically interact with it. And at the end of the webinar, I'll, we'll have time to cover any questions that you guys might have. And if you guys need additional training, we can definitely arrange that as well. So you guys should now be seeing my computer screen, just using my demo database to be able to actually show you guys everything. None of the information is real in this database, just to let you guys know. And, and again, just if you have any questions, please hold it to the end of the webinar so we can certainly cover that. First feature that we actually released and we're very, very excited about is essentially what we call a 24-hour report. The purpose of this report and this basic feature is for those of you who are on the go and do not have always the opportunity to log into Perfect Mind and run certain reports to understand what happened in your business, for us to be able to actually just approach you and provide you that information so you can always know what happened to your business on that given day. It's very important for all the business owners to continuously be aware of what is going on with their business and essentially what has happened in the past 24 hours, especially if you guys have a lot of staff members. So what we have done, we actually introduced basically a new report that gets emailed to you on a daily basis. This report is called the 24-hour report. And as the name basically shows, it's a report that reflects the past 24 hours, what happened to your business. The report looks like something like this. And some of you guys have had this already activated for the past couple of months as you guys have been helping us with the testing of this feature. But this report starts with, first of all, the date of, that report. It shows you one very important statistics, and that shows month to date how much money has been collected. So from the beginning of the month to the that day, essentially, how much funds and payments have been collected at your business. As you guys see, this is not really a good business. If it's taking $260 in 18 days, that's definitely not a good sign. In addition to that, you see some general information about your business first. So you see the total active students. So how many active students are in your business at that given time. This actually goes based on essentially a type on the contact list. So if you have anyone marked as type active, they will show up in this section, similar to how we have it for dashboard as well. You see the leads this month, so how many leads were generated, in the past month or within that specific month. Attendances this month, how many attendance records have been generated for that month. This is for classes only. Obviously, to know the health of your business from, martial arts school, yoga studio, dance studio, it's important to know attendance for the classes rather than seminars and stuff like that. You see the billing direct overdue amount. So if you are using the billing direct service, and you have any basic outstanding balance, you'll see it here. This is similar as how you have it on the dashboard as well. And then you see some information about specifically that day. So school performance that day, you will see number of leads that were generated during that 24 hours, students lost during that time frame, and students gained during that time frame. The next stage is essentially some information about financial performance. So you will see successfully processed payments. So this could be in-house payments, credit card payments, EFT payments, anything that has been successfully processed. You see the total amount here and the number of actually processed payments right in the beginning of the statement. You will see in progress basic payments number and basically the total. So this would be related to the EFT transactions. So if you have any EFT transactions that are in progress, you'll be able to essentially see how much dollar amount it is. This is not 100% that's going to go through, but this is essentially related to what is in progress, and in a few days you'll know if it's going to be successful or it's going to fail. And obviously the number of fails as well, in addition to the total amount. You will also see the expiring memberships. So this is a good heads up for you to know, whose membership is about to expire. We list any student who has a membership expiring in the next 20 days. So you'll be able to then look them up and, take the necessary action. And the next step and the last information here is a list of financial informations that are about to expire. This takes a look at all the financial basic information that, or the credit cards in specific, that will expire within the, within that month, and if that finance info is being used on an active transaction. So if it's an old finance info, obviously will not be listed here. All right. Now, this is really as simple as that. What you are able to do, if you don't, for whatever reason, want to receive this email, you can actually go into your scheduled inbox, check the box for that email, and, press the hold button. I personally highly recommend this email to be delivered to everyone. It delivers at night, so around 11, 12 a.m. It consistently comes every day. In addition to that, we have used the email address that you had in the setup, the organization setup. This is an email that's going to be used for us to be able to send this report to. If, for whatever reason, you actually want this email to be sent to a different email account, you are able to essentially click on the email on the scheduled inbox and be able to type in a new email account. So if I want to send it to my Champions Way account instead, I'll be able to type in that information, then press resume. Simple as that. All right. So that was one of the first features that we had that we're very, very excited about it. In addition to this feature, one thing that to mention is some of you guys see the new navigation that I have. I've gone over this last month as well, but just in case that you did not have a chance to attend my previous webinar, I'm just going to go over this very quickly as well, since more of you have now actually been exposed to the new navigation. And as of last night, for those of you who had not had the opportunity to have the new navigation, have now got the new application or new navigation. Sorry. So the new navigation is essentially we built it to be able to improve your day-to-day interaction with the Perfect Mind system. So for us to be able to essentially get you to essentially the place you want faster and to the action that you want much faster than before. So we've actually removed one set of navigation that you had on top before and was called the app suites. You had stuff like office, money, social site, things like that. We've completely removed that. And we've essentially combined all the navigations and all the apps into essentially options here, as you see on the bottom. The first option essentially would be contacts. This contact essentially it's any action that you can have with your overall contacts. From managing your existing contacts, will show you a list of all your active students, your leads, your former students, and also the views that you've created. From adding a brand new lead, sometimes basically a person walks in and you want to be able to create them quickly. So instead of clicking new, choosing the type lead, you're able to just click one button by adding a lead and it takes you to that screen right away. From managing your documents, so if you're using basically essentially the Documents app and you have essentially some documents that you want to print or you want to create new documents, you'll be able to access them there. And lastly, quick registration in case you want to essentially, you have again in the walk-in come to your business and you want to get them to register their own information. You'll be able to run this tab on a tablet, pass the tablet to them so they can put in their own information. All right. So the next tab, actually there will be a Small, basically a grammatical change here. Right now it says classes on my version. It's going to say schedule as of today. And it will give you options related to your schedule. So from ability for you to be able to check in your students, so taking attendance essentially, students or members, creating a brand new event, from, special events to, introductory lessons to classes to seminars. To calendar view, so be able to actually essentially view your calendar. And also for those of you who are using the martial art version, for you to be able to do an exam update. So just after your exam, you'll be able to run this function and to be able to promote people to the new level or new rank. Then next option would be POS. This will also be changed to store, and it gives you all the store functionality, such as making a sale, which takes you to the POS window for you to be able to find a product and find a client to make a sale. To be able to manage your product, so adding a new product, and basically be able to add new products or update existing products. To manage memberships, to be able to add new membership options. And lastly, to be able to open your till. So, in case you want to access your cash till, you'll be able to open that. That is, if you already have a cash till connected to the system. All right, so the next section we have marketing category. In this area, you'll be able to send an email as like you were able to do before. So you'll be able to type in your email, create it as an auto send email or one-time email. You'll be able to manage your pages. This could be your social site pages or any landing pages that you created. So in order for you to be able to access them, create new pages or edit existing pages, you'll be able to update here. You will be able to create new forms and embed them into different websites. And lastly, you will be able to manage campaigns, creating a new campaign or, basically updating an existing campaign to be able to measure your marketing success. Reports, we had a question earlier, where is the dashboard? It's essentially the first option on the reports. It's called Smart Dashboard. Same dashboard as before. Lastly, view reports. Now, there's been a few more options added here. We have bookkeeping, which is for you to be able to record income and expense or manage your vendors, stuff that's related to essentially a Perfect Books app. So right from one window, you'll be able to actually make those options. Employees, which we're going to talk about this a little bit more today, since there's been new features introduced in the employee section. So you'll be able to manage your staff or the time cards they have. All right. Now, everyone will be getting this navigation. If you haven't received it yet, you will be receiving it very shortly. So everyone will be able to actually benefit from these functions. All right. Now we can move to essentially the next part of, next feature that we released last night. And it wasn't actually necessarily a new feature, but it was enhancements to existing feature. We had a lot of you guys submit us great feedback about how we can improve existing functions within the system. One of the features that everyone loved since the release of this feature has been the check-in app. And we've been getting more and more essentially feedback about how we can actually make this feature better. So this feature basically, some of the changes that you guys had brought to our attention and wanted to see, we've implemented during this release. The first change is for you to be able to get into students' detail page or, contact details right away from the check-in app. Sometimes basically, you attend someone either through a class or through this page, and you want to actually get more information. For example, we have this student here who has an X, meaning it doesn't have proper membership. So I want to learn more about this student and why he doesn't have a membership. Before we had this page, which was essentially a summary page for you to see everything. But some of you guys have asked that we want to see more, and we want to get to maybe the attendance records or the list of transactions, so on and so forth. So what we've done now, we've made this name actually a link. By clicking on this link, you'll be able to actually go directly to the main page of that student. So you'll be able to essentially see additional information such as, maybe the attendance records on the side or the transactions or the emails that have been sent to them and so on and so forth. All right. So the next section, the option that, you guys have asked for is when going to a class, sometimes it was, a little bit harder to understand essentially, find the students you're looking for. Not sure if this is visible to the webinar screen, but we've actually made a color gradients between different lines. So you'll be able to determine, or find out which line of students you're looking at. Just making it a little bit easier for you. Another things that we've done on this window, we've actually, have added the number of stripes and also the stripe due date. Per as your request, we've added these options so you'll be able to better understand, when is the stripe due or what stripe number the student is on. Also, other items that we've improved is the search function. A lot of you have asked for this before, and that is that you wanted to see the more relevant people first before seeing everyone. In the past, when you were searching for a contact, you will seeing uh, all the contacts sorted alphabetically. But what we've been told, based on your feedback, is that you want to first see the active students and then take attention to former students and leads. So we actually made it like that. So now this essentially search box will first sort all the active students, followed by your leads and former students. So you'll be able to find the person you're looking for much faster. The last thing is we wanted to actually also make this, app a little bit more functional. So as you guys are aware, we have notifications. So in case that there is a notification or something that you need to pay attention to in regards to that student in their attendance record, we have this icon. And by clicking on the icon, it will give you a complete message of what is that notification. It could be that they need to bring in you voided check or their membership expired or things like that. So what we've done as of this release, we've added an additional action. On messages where it says no active membership or if the membership that the student has does not match this event, we have also the buy option. So it gives you the ability to right from this screen, click the buy screen, which takes you to the membership options, and you'll be able to select one of the memberships to sell to the student. This just, again, makes all the areas in Perfect Mind connected a little bit better, so you can conduct what you're looking for a little bit faster. All right. By the way, I'm getting a lot of questions. I have all your questions here, and just after going over all the details, we'll come back to the questions and answer all of them. All right. So the next feature, which has been basically something that has came up since, more and more of you have been using the Mr. Marketer, service and all the emails that come from Mr. Marketer. One function that we had in Perfect Mind before was within our email app of Perfect Mind is an ability for you to check for duplicates. Perfect Mind in the past had a secret, logic in the background of how it checked for duplicates. What do I mean by that is in some situations you send a marketing email, let's say to all your contacts, and you might have multiple contacts using the same email address, maybe a family or maybe, siblings or a couple. So in those situations, you probably don't want to send a marketing message multiple times. It just, truthfully gets annoying, and it increases the chances of you getting opt out of your emails or unsubscribes. So what we had in Perfect Mind in the past is the logic in the background that it works. So how the logic worked in the background and still does to this day is that in case that you're using a merge field in the document, so and we identify that email being customized per essentially contact or receiver. So for example, if I'm using the birthday or first name or the birth date or transaction amount and things like that as merge fields, and merge fields, as you guys know, you're able to utilize any field in the system as a merge field. So when the email goes out, it gets customized based on the person who's receiving it. If you're using merge field, identify that this email needs to be unique for every contact. So we were sending multiple copies of it out. In cases that you didn't have merge field, maybe you're just sending a flyer or an image, then we actually, kind of realize and, assume that's a marketing message, and it should only go as one copy to your contacts. So what we were doing, we were only sending one copy per email account. So this works generally for 99% of the cases, but in some recent cases it has been brought to our attention that even though the email might have a merge field, we still don't want to send duplicated emails. So what we've done, we've actually created now a new function, and that function is called send to email address once. By checking this box, doesn't matter if you're using a merge field or not using a merge field, the system will only send that email once per email address. So it doesn't matter if two or multiple people are using the same email account, they'll only receive one copy of that email. What we've also done, we've gone through all the Mr. Marketer emails and we activated this function by default. So if you had in the past had situations that people were getting 2 emails from Mr. Marketer or 2 copies of the Mr. Marketer email, they will not receive that any longer. Okay, and that's really all about this function. And obviously, again, this function was released to just improve, the unsubscribe rate and the, email complaint rate if you were having challenges with that in the past. One other change we've done is a very, very small change, but I know it comes very useful to most of you, is how the birthday field worked. The birthday field worked typically as regular date or number field in the past. So the sorting, depending on what your localization settings on your computer in Perfect Month was, it wasn't working in all situations. If you had month, day, and year, basically the system wasn't acting or sorting it, the way that you would have preferred it. So what we've done, we've actually made the logic a little bit stronger, specific to the birthday field. So always sort properly. As long as this field is being used in any of your views, it sorts basically essentially, birthdays within the month together and then the next month. So for example, if I sorted today, it sorts all the birthdays in February, then March from the 1st to end of March, and so on and so forth. This goes, it's the same case for all the existing birthday views that we had, such as birthday in next 30 days. All right, so the next feature that we have is essentially creating memberships. We have managed memberships, which allows you to essentially create new membership templates or new membership options that you want to sell. The reason we have this function is for you to be able to make the process for your staff and yourself a lot easier when it comes to choosing a membership type and selling them. What you are able to do as an owner of the business or as a manager of the business, you're able to create all the general options that you would want to sell, basically have them in the system, so upon someone coming to purchasing them, those information and details does not need to be re-added and per instance and per sale. Now, you always have the option, if you allow your staff members or yourself, to be able to update some of this information during the checkout window. Always know, once in a while, you want to make a sale and you want to, you might discount the down payment, or you might basically be able to reduce the monthly payments and so on and so forth. Those options will still be available to you. In the past, what we found is that our screen, for memberships, and a lot of from your feedbacks as well, that the screen, and the options, could have been improved. So you can make the process a lot easier when creating a new membership template. So moving forward, we've actually updated the process a little bit and how the page looked like before. So how you're going to do, what's going to happen moving forward, upon pressing new to create a new membership template, you will see a pop-up like this. This pop-up will give you all the different membership types that you can create using Perfect Mind, and we'll go over each one of them so you get a better understanding of how it works. The first option is unlimited ongoing. What this option means, it means an ongoing membership, something that never ends. So it could be a month to month, week to week, year to year, and it has unlimited number of classes that you can attend. So there's no restrictions of how many classes or how many events you're able to attend with that membership. The next option is limited by time. So this is essentially a typical limited membership. So it has an expiry date. So number of classes will still be unlimited. However, you are putting a limit in time. So for example, a 3-month membership, a 6-month membership, a 12-month membership, or maybe a trial membership of 14 days. We also have limited by class. So these are, some of you call it punch passes or drop-in passes, and these are essentially a membership that is limited by the number of classes that you can attend. So I can essentially purchase a 10-pass membership and attend only 10 times before the system essentially warning someone. And lastly, an option for you to be able to limit by time and class. So you might want to have a 1-month membership, which only has 5 classes, or a 12-month membership, which only gives a person an option for, essentially, 30 classes, let's say. This could also be punch passes that expire as well. You can have a punch pass for, 10 passes, which you want the passes to expire after 3 months. I know a lot of you guys also offer such a thing. So upon choosing the option that you're interested in, most of the information gets populated for you. So you would still have to, put in the name. You would have to associate it to a program. You don't actually have to associate it with program or style, but I would recommend it. This works hand to hand with your attendance. If you actually have a membership associated to a program or style, the system will also check your classes that are associated to a program and style to ensure that the student is attending right class or the member is attending right classes. More information essentially you give the system, the better it's going to work for you. You have the show to fields, which you can define if you want to show this membership to staff, members, or public on your website. You can feature it if you wish. You can have a description and an image. You have the membership type, which is going to be pre-selected for you depending on what your previous option was and previous selection was. But if you made a mistake, you're able to change that. And then you can define your payment patterns and all the details here. You've also added the each payment calculator, so it makes it easier for you to understand based on your inputs what would the each payment value be. This again improves and avoids for you making many mistakes. Now, for options that there are limits by time, you will also see the duration field. In the past, our duration field only worked based on number of days. Based on your request, we've also added basically the option for you to set durations by months as well. So you'll be able to say just 2 months, 3 months, membership. On cases that, we also have essentially limit by class, you'll have a field so you can put the number of sessions. So on the limit time in class, you'll see both options available. Upon saving this, the rest of the steps are exactly the same. You'll be able to buy the membership exactly the same way as you used to before. For those of you who don't know, I'm just going to quickly go over that option as well. So in the case that I'm buying a membership, the system will take me to the checkout screen. And on this screen, as I mentioned previously, you're able to make some adjustments to the down payment value, to the activate or expire date, to the price and the value of the membership. So, if I want to make it more or less, I can do that. You can apply discounts, or even on those unique situations, you'll be able to click on this pencil icon to be able to change the payment pattern. So if you want to change it from monthly to paid in full, you'll be able to do that, or really any other type of pattern. Or if you want to basically, change the monthly from 11 payments to 12 payments because you're discounting the down payment, you'll be able to easily do that. So let's do that just now, and let's add a down payment value. Which this takes me to the next feature that we have released. A lot of features, as I told you guys earlier. The next feature that we have is an ability for you to record multiple, actually 2, payment methods for Pay Now. So for example, what you're able to do in some cases, people come to you, let's say in this membership or a product that they're purchasing, there's a $250 down payment. I've just said as example. They give me $100 cash and they want to use another payment method to pay the remainder of the down payment. Previously, this was not possible. Now we've added the function for you to be able to essentially introduce multiple payment options. So what I can do for my example here, I can say $100 cash, and then the remaining will come as a second payment method. So it says, as you guys see here, it says to pay $150, so meaning there's a remaining balance of $150 here, and I'll be able to choose a payment method, let's say credit card in this case. If your credit card is obviously saved, you'll be able to just choose the option available. And at the end, you press complete as you would do before. So just to go over that very, very quickly again. So you have an option now to split payments by clicking on that option, and secondary payment method for your pay now payments get introduced, and you'll be able to essentially record a secondary payment method. Okay, hopefully that made sense to everyone. Now, the next feature to go over is actually a very, very exciting feature. I know a lot of you guys have asked for this feature over time, and so we finally actually introduced it. And this feature is called gift cards. Now, I'm sure everyone has had an experience to use a gift card or purchase a gift card at some point in their life. So so we've introduced that imperfect mind so you'll be able to easily sell it and utilize that in future. So what has happened moving forward, for every database that's out there, we've introduced a new product in your product window called gift card. This is a default an example for you to use, but you're able to generate new ones as well, and we'll go over that shortly. So how the gift card function works is upon, you're able to essentially sell this product like any other product. So let's just take that as an option. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for gift card. I'll see the option available to me. I add it to the to my cart, and I'll be able to then select the student, select myself, and make it sell like any other product. The only difference is that depending on what is the value of the product that I'm selling, so it could be $25, it could be $50, something special happens in the background. Upon me making a purchase and completing this transaction, the system acts slightly differently. It gives you an option to print a gift card in addition to the options that you had in the past. So printing receipt and email receipt is still there, but also gives you an option to print a gift card. Upon clicking on this option, we give you a few options of templates to use. You can choose the template that you're interested in. Let's say, we choose the blue template, and it provides you essentially a document that you'll be able to print. It'll look like something like this. And this document essentially will have a barcode and a barcode number that represents the balance that you just sold. So I purchased a gift card for a value of $50, and that generated a gift card for us with a barcode number that has that balance retained on it. So what is the next step? The next step is me as a student. Now I take this gift card and I pass it to a friend of mine, or pass it to, or keep it myself, or essentially, I can utilize this moving forward as a payment method. So let's take that as an example. Let's say another day, someone else comes in and wants to buy a, uniform, right? I choose the uniform that I want to sell. I choose the client. In this case, it doesn't matter if it's a client that originally purchased a gift card, because gift cards are built to be able to be gifted to others. So I'm going to pick someone else. And now as a payment method, forgot to select someone. So now as a payment method, the same way we have credit card, cash, debit, and check that we had in the past, now we have a new payment option called gift card. By choosing this option, the system will prompt us to enter a gift card number. I can either manually type this in, or if you have your cursor on this basic screen, you'll be able to use your barcode scanner to scan the the gift card that was printed. I've essentially copied the number, so I'm just going to essentially paste the number here, press apply, and now the system will essentially check the balance and will utilize the full balance towards the purchase of that product. That is in case that the product is in a higher value compared to the balance that I had my gift card. If the gift card has more value and more balance on it, it will use up to the full amount of the product, and the remaining balance will remain on the gift card. In this case, because I use the entire balance, as you see here, one of the payment methods has been marked as gift card with this number for $50, and now the remaining balance also on my gift card has been marked as $0. And there's still $55 left on this product. So it gives me the option, with the previous feature that I explained, to introduce a new payment method to cover the rest of the payment. And upon pressing complete, that transaction is done. The balance of the gift card is redeemed, and and the transaction is recorded properly. So I showed you originally to essentially basically how you can utilize the existing gift card that we have. Some of you might want to actually have multiple options of gift cards because you have different balances, and maybe you're not comfortable in changing the balance every time during the checkout screen. Or maybe on the other hand, you might want to have multiple options available in your online store, so your members of your website can actually visit your online store and actually purchase those gift cards by themselves and have the option of a $5 gift card, $50 gift card, and so on and so forth. Well, that's no problem. You'll be able to actually generate your own gift cards as need comes. So you would create a new product as you would usually do. The only difference in this whole process is that when you're generating a new product, let's say gift card, and you want to say $50, and you put the value the same thing, you can apply tax if taxes are applicable to it, depending on where you're located and what city, states, and province you're located in, or even country. You can choose an image for it. Maybe you can even have your own logo, or you can make your own images. The only difference, in order for this to function as a gift card, you must check this box where it says this is a gift card item. As long as you do this item will be marked as a gift card for you, and it will function how a gift card functions the way I just showed you. So upon purchase of it, a balance will be generated, and the balance can be in future used towards additional purchases. Now, there are also reports, obviously, that will show you all the information in regards to the gift card. So you'll be able to go to gift card sales to be able to know what sales have been made using gift cards and what was the gift card number. Or you can also see gift card usage. If you want to see a balance of a gift card, you'll be able to essentially see it here as well. Hopefully this answers all the questions. We are a little bit behind on everything, so I'm just going to continue to the next feature, and then we're going to go to questions after I cover the remainder of the features. It was a very big release this month, so we have a lot to cover today. All right, so earlier today when I was explaining essentially the new navigation, I showed you guys the employee section. So the employee section is a section which allows you to manage your staff members and also manage your time cards. We've realized that time card wasn't actually being utilized by everyone, and we have now installed it for all databases so you guys can actually take advantage of this function. What time card means is it essentially allows you to be able to essentially clock in and clock out your staff members to be able to determine how many hours or minutes they spent at work, essentially. And then you'll be able to run reports based on that and calculate their pay. You could do this either manually by using the time card button, or you'll be able to essentially, so you'll be able to either select them and essentially clock them in or clock them out, or you'll be able to use the attendance cards and using the, basically the Perfect Scan application. That is on a different topic since that's an old feature. One thing we've now made available to everyone is, first of all, the staff function and the employee function. So we have now an option for you to be able to manage your staff members right in the screen. So what you'll be able to do here, you'll be able to, for either your existing employees or your new employees, you'll be able to create them right here, give them the position, give them the first name, last name, all the information that you do require, including the birthday as well, a little bit of a bio, which will show up in your calendar or, book me pages. And upon completion, you'll be able to essentially click the Manage Login button, and this gives you some of the really cool functionality that's going to save you a lot of time. First option, it gives you the Create button to create a new login. What this means is a login for Perfect Mind will be generated and will be emailed to them. So by clicking that button, it will ask you what type of profile you want to create. Is it a global admin? Is it an admin? Is it an instructor? Is it an employee? And you can choose that, and an email will be generated for them that will contain their username and password. So that's the first step. After creating the login credentials for them, one thing that I see surprisingly happens often is people forget their login credentials, like all the time. So if that happens, you don't actually have to, contact us or log into the setup to be able to reset the password. You'll be able to simply click one button, Reset Login, which will generate a new password for them and will email it to the staff member again. For those of you who have a staff member that's no longer with you, you'll be able to simply deactivate them, which will deactivate their login credentials. So they're not going to be able to access Perfect Mind anymore. And as you guys see, the status will change to former, and the termination date will be updated here as well for your records. If somehow the staff member comes back again, you'll be able to manage logging in and reactivate the login. So all that comes with a new staff section, and as you guys see, the termination basically date gets removed. Now, for one thing, just so you guys see as an example, let me find a new staff member. So upon a creation of a new staff member, let's say John Smith, and I added js@step.com. If I'm pressing this button for the first time and I want to create the login, it actually gives you the option to choose from the profile. So you'll be able to choose the right profile. Just quickly to go over the profiles again, global admin is essentially the most powerful profile or user that you can have. I do not recommend this user to be given to all your staff members, since they can do anything you can imagine, from seeing all the sections of Perfect Mind, refunding, creating transaction, terminating transaction, canceling students, deleting records. This is very, very powerful profile. Right after that is admin. So they don't, with admin profile, you don't have access to the settings, but you have access to almost everything else. And the employee, which is, essentially the last level, which gives them, general permissions that an employee requires, from, basically adding leads and, selling memberships and things like that. So new function that we've released, in addition to what I just showed you, which was released last month actually, is an ability now for you to be able to create different payroll, or basically pay structures for your staff members. So this is more common in other industries. In martial arts is also, basically for some of the schools is common, but it's huge in yoga and music industry. So, for those of you who are attending this webinar that basically own a yoga studio or a dance, school, studio or music school, you'll be able to relate to this a lot. And that is being able to generate payroll records or pay rates for your staff members. So here on each employee profile, on the bottom, you'll see a section where it says pay rate. And right now, this is a new staff member, so it doesn't have anything. So if I press new, it gives you an option to choose between different pay structures that you can set up for your staff member. So there are 5 different methods of pay that you can, define for your staff members. You can have one or multiple options actually created for each one of your staff members. And I'll explain one by one, and we'll go over the setting quickly. First option, you have per class. So with per class, you can specify a flat wage per class, add a bonus based on additional attendees, and set minimum and maximum amounts to pay. So what this means is you can essentially pay your staff based on the number of classes that they teach. And you can also define a bonus saying that, hey, John, for every class I give you $20, and in addition, as a bonus, if you can get more than 20 people into the class, I'll give you also $2 per attendees. So they have also, more reasons of promoting your class more, especially for yoga. This is very, very important. The next option, you have per attendee. So what you're able to do, you're able to set a bonus structure based on the number of attendees that show up in the class. So you can say, I will pay you $2 per attendee that you have, attend the class, essentially. The next section, you have incremental, so you can set different levels. So you can say, and you can set, up to 4 different levels actually of incremental pays. So you can say, I want to pay you, $10 if your class is between 1 attendees up to 10 attendees. I'll give you $20 if it's between 11 to 20. I'll give you $30 between 21 to 30, and so on and so forth. We'll go over the details in a little bit. You can pay them based on a percentage of revenue that's been generated by that event. So you're able to say that I'll give you 20% of any revenue that we've collected for an event X. And lastly, you have an hourly. So this connects directly to the time card app, so you can set an hourly wage and the system will calculate how much you owe them. All right, now we'll go over each one of the options so you get a better understanding how this works. So let's say starting with the per class option. So the per class option, you're first able to create a name for it. Do take in consideration that the rates are per staff member. They're not a general rate for your business. It's something that you define per staff member. We've done, hundreds of interviews with different schools and different studios, around the country, and almost everyone, basically unanimously said that you pay your staff members differently depending on different criteria. So we've set it up so you can set pay rates per staff member. So, for example, in this case, I can say John Smith, class pay, and the type is per class based on my previous selection. But if you made a mistake, you can change it to any of the options that I just basically mentioned. You're able to set a rate per class. So I want to pay him $25 per class. And then you can also introduce bonus rates. So what bonus rates is that you can actually say after a certain number of attendees, so let's say after 20 attendees, in addition to $25 that he gets per class, I want to give them $5 per attendance. This is for any attendances over that value. So for attendee 21, 22, and 23, he'll get $5 each. So that would be an extra $15. If you have a bonus implemented, it's very important for you to set a minimum and maximum pay. That means how much is the minimum you want to pay him? Well, let's say $25. And what is the maximum? So you don't want to go over $35. Just in case he has, hundreds of people show up in the class, you don't want to go bankrupt. So that's one option, which is a per class option. The second option is per attendee section. So per attendee is essentially you can define that I want to pay my staff member, John in this case, $2 per attendee. And upon that, and I want to also, same as before, you can enable a bonus if you want. And that is to pay him more than the $2, so something in addition to $2 after a certain level. So that level for me could be 15 attendees. And after 15, I want to give them $2 per attendance in addition to what they previously received. So after the 15 one, so on the 16th and 17th and the 18th attendee, they'll get $4 for those 3 attendees, and for the remainder, they'll get $2 each. And same thing before, you have a minimum and maximum pay to protect you from going bankrupt. Incremental, this is essentially staged pay structure. So you can say, from 1 to 5, I want to give them $10. From 6 to 10, I want to give them, $20. 11 to 15, $30, and so on and so forth. You can only set one value. You don't have to set all four. You can set any combination from 2 up to 4, essentially increments. And what that means, if I have 3 attendance record, I fall within the first level and I get $10. If I have anything from 6 or above 6, I'll fall into level 2, and so on and so forth. The next option is hourly. So pretty self-explanatory. You can actually say I pay my instructors $12 an hour. They would have to work a minimum of 4 hours and maximum 8 hours. And the fifth option is percentage. So percentage works based on the revenue that you collect on a certain event. This is very good also for seminars. For example, if you have, let's say you're a martial arts school, you teach karate, and one day you bring a guest speaker or, to do a seminar for you on jiu-jitsu. You have, let's say, Hoist Gracie come in for doing a, jiu-jitsu seminar for you. You're able to set it up in a way that you can calculate how much money you collected for that special event and be able to, calculate the percentage that you can pay that gentleman or that person. This also works for classes. Again, more for yoga. In yoga, you can, essentially get paid per event, either to punch passes that has been previously purchased, or it could be based on, attendee of that event. So you can create a class in the system, put a fee associated to the class, and as people attend the event, they will have to pay for it. And the pay collected for that class can then be calculated as a percentage of it can be calculated towards commission for that staff member. So as you set these up, if it's anything related to events, which almost all of them are other than hourly, you would then have to also update the event itself. In the event window, when you're creating a new class or a new seminar or what have you, you'll be able to essentially choose an instructor for that event. So let's say I'm going to choose Yolanda. And then you can define and select one of the pay rates that, Yolanda has been set up for Yolanda. And, you can then press save. So now this event will utilize the, rate per attendance that has been created for Yolanda. This service runs in a daily basis, so all the rates are calculated at the end of every night, and you're always able to go back to reports and go under money folder and be able to see the payroll report to be able to see how much you would have to pay. Obviously, I'm using a demo database. Nothing has been defined in terms of pay, so this report is empty. You can also click on filter to be able to change the range. If you want to see the last 30 days, you'll be able to type in that number and obviously run a report based on that. Couple of small items to mention, and then I'll go over the questions. There's tons of questions actually has been posted as well. I'll do my best to cover everything as we're coming very close to, the end time of our meeting. New thing that has been introduced is a new help section also for Perfect Mind. By clicking the help button here, you'll be able to go into the help section. You'll be able to type in any question that you have, browse from one of the subjects that has been, categorized for you, be able to see the recent updates. So you see all the new features we talked about here. So you'll be able to see the instructions of how to utilize them and also the frequently asked questions. Lastly, if you want to chat with us, you'll be able to chat right from this section by clicking on chat with us, go to our lounge to ask our community, or submit a brand new question in case essentially that question was not in our in our help section. Other than that, there is also a new bylaw that has been pushed for Canadian clients. For those of you who are located in Canada, there has been a new spam regulations introduced by the government of Canada as of yesterday, or actually came in effect as of today. The new spam regulation is called CASL, or CASL. It's essentially you'll be able to Google it and get tons of basically information about what the Canada's anti-spam legislation is. Essentially, what it is, it's that you can't email anyone that you want to email. There is a lot of complex rules behind it. People have to first opt in that they want to receive your emails. After a certain year, you're not able to send them emails anymore and everything like that. We are completely on top of this, guys. For those of you who are in Canada, we have pushed an email out on your behalf to all your leads and your contacts to opt into your emails moving forward. And in Perfect Mind, in the background, we actually keep track of all that. So you're not going to get into any legal problems due to this new legislation. You're only, even if you send email to all your contacts, is only going to be delivered to the ones who previously opted in. Although this is, might reduce the chances of you sending an email to an individual or reaching all your contact, but it's to protect you from any issues, and we have to oblige with these rules. If you're using other services and you are located in Canada, you're using other email services, make sure to follow these rules. It's very, very strict. If you don't, basically follow them and you send an email to someone who shouldn't, legally be getting an email, then you could get into a lot of problems. Lastly, to mention, for those of you who are not aware of our referral program, guys, we have a great referral program available at Champions Way in Perfect Mind. Essentially, for any of your colleagues or friends in the industry that you send towards Champions Way to utilize the same products and features that they have and benefit from them, we actually will give you guys a credit towards your monthly payments. This credit could start from 1 month of your payment up to multiple months of payment, depending on what package your friend has enrolled in. So contact our sales department if you want to learn more about it. Do send basically if you have any referrals towards us, and we'll take care of it for you. If they end up purchasing the services, you'll get a good kickback. We have actually, just to let you know, we have clients who send us 10 to 12 referrals a year, and in results they get the entire services free of charge. All right, so now that I've covered everything, I'm going to go over questions as much as I possibly can. First, some of these questions, because I'm now going over them pretty late, it might not make sense to me, so I'll skip the ones that are not relevant anymore. So Jackie has asked if the navigation should look like this. Mine is still the old version. Yes, you will get it, as I mentioned, in the next little while. If you don't have it now, you will have it. Dashboard was a question asked, where can I access a dashboard? You'll be able to access it under reports, and then under smart dashboard. Will PM preparing a draft email to gain consent from contacts in new spam legislation? Yes, Katel, Mr. Walsh, we've already sent that out actually. And you guys have also probably received an email from us, from Perfect Mind or Champions Way, depending on the company you're in contact with, to essentially get your permission for you to have future contacts. If you want to still continue to get updates about our products or about events or company, please make sure you opt into that email so we can contact you in future. Just had a custom list created last night in Office, and now have no idea where it's located. That's an email from John. John, nothing would have been changed if you go on if your list has been created under contacts. If you click on Manage Contacts, you'll be able to see it right in this area, on the gray area on the left-hand side. Very good question with Chris Murphy. So I guess this is related to the email app. When sending emails, essentially, when you're using the send to email address once, Chris has asked, how will the program know what name to use in multiple users? That's a very good question. In those cases, essentially the only way we can know is to just essentially make a guess. We'll try to make the best estimate based on the information available on the student's or contact's details. But if you're using a first name merge field and you have this function clicked to only send the copy once per email account, there is no way for us to really tell which one. So we're going to just take one of the options as our selection. Mr. Walsh has asked, regarding 24-hour report, is there attendance report counting unique contacts that attended the class? No, this is, it's counting, basically total number of attendances. It doesn't talk about how many people have attended your classes. It talks about how many attendance records you've had. So this just shows the health of the business and the rough health of the classes for you to know if you have a decent amount of attendances or not. The question is, can you delay the down payment, schedule it by EFT? No, down payments are made to be made on the spot. Having said that, what you're able to do if you want to accomplish that, what you can sell the membership, so with zero down payment, and then you can sell a product or, called registration fee, let's say. I don't have a product, so I'm going to use random product. Let's see, water. Obviously, it's not going to be water. It's going to be considered a registration fee. And then what you're able to do, you are able to schedule that for future dates. So what you can do upon selecting your student, you can select a pay a later basic date and choose your payment method. The question from Mr. Richardson is, what if you're sending an email to two different lists and an email is listed in both lists? If you select the send email once, will it send it once or twice? It will only send it once. So it doesn't matter how many lists you have attached to the email. When we're sending the email, we're going to find out, essentially how many duplicated emails are and only send it once per duplicated email. There's been actually a couple of questions in regards to the same feature. It's been, can you split payments to be made at a later date? No, unless the split payment, again, the split payment is only for pay nows, not for pay laters. I think this comes with a lot of, I get this a lot with, divorced families. So divorced families sometimes purchase a membership and, the mom wants to pay, one of the months and the dad wants to pay the other month. I will show you guys a trick of how to accomplish that. Might not be the ideal situation, but really that's not an ideal situation either, that two people want to pay for the same monthly fee. If you call your cell phone company and ask for that, they're going to tell you definitely no. Same goes with your car payments or really any other payment that you have. But technically, there is a way to do it, and that is to sell two different actually memberships for one single student. So what you can do, let's say I'm selling the 6-month karate or 6-month membership for junior karate to my students. So I can select that membership. No, bad example actually. Let me select another membership that didn't have a payment method defined. All right. So what you can do, you can actually, select your membership, adjust the price based on half of the membership only. So if it's $1,000 membership, you put in the price of $500. Now, instead of, if this is $1,000 membership to be paid in 10 payments, so it's a 10-month membership, what you're able to do, you can set up a pay later. You can set it up to be by essentially weekly, and then you can adjust the number of payments like that. Create one of the memberships to be activated this month and another membership to be created and activated the next month. So this way it essentially, the memberships and the payments will flip. and will kind of accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. But for as an easy as in the pay later function, having that already built in, that's definitely not in there by default. All right, I'm just kind of reading questions to be able to cover as much as I can. Can gift cards be used towards membership payments? Yes, absolutely, can be used towards membership payments. The next question, gift cards, can the purchase location be added to print out of gift cards with multiple locations? Jen, I know where you're coming from with that. Obviously, can it's just an essentially template. We can adjust that template for you for your purpose. Um, but we have to talk about this in a little bit more detail. I would think, still in the multi-location case, like Z Ultimate, who which has 100 plus locations, you would still want to, as a courtesy, offer or allow your students who purchase gift cards to redeem them from another location. So we have to ask that question first, if that's something that the organization is willing to do or not willing to do, and based on that, make the change. If that's the case, then the location on the gift card itself, it would be a little bit redundant, similar to Starbucks. If I purchase a Starbucks gift card from one location, I will be able to utilize it in all locations. However, on the receipt, the location will show for their records. Alan Bernstein, who I believe has left the actual session now, but he has a good question, which I have to elaborate on it. Basically, the question he's asked is also if a student comes in for a prize for being there for 1 year, so customer loyalty awards, and I want to give them a gift card, can we create one even though no one has paid for it? No, what you're trying to do, a gift card is essentially like a product. You don't want to make a sale. What you're trying to do is provide a gift. So the gift shouldn't be a transaction. It should be just something that you add in the system. For customer loyalty and stuff like that, I do recommend using the, basically the rewards button. So you'll be able to add rewards. The restriction for rewards is they need to have actually a login credential. So you need to first click manage login, create a login credential for that student or lead. And, let's just do that quickly. And then you'll be able to manage the rewards. So what you're able to do, you can say add rewards. You can add X amount of rewards to the student file. And then either yourself or, the student, upon making a sale or making a purchase, let me just show you that as an example. So let's say uniform. And I select, oops, I want to sell Nima Jazby. I want to buy something for Nima. As you see, the rewards will be made available, and then the rewards can be applied towards your purchase. That's something you should do for loyalty rewards or any type of rewards. Maybe a student helps you to pass out flyers or help you clean the school or, help you with promoting something on your social media account and you want to give them something in return, you can always utilize the reward function for that. So gift cards should only be used for essentially sell. Okay. Oh, did I go through? Kachel, Mr. Walsh, in order for you to be able to filter what people see and what people don't see, you can go, you would have to log into the smart client version of the system to be able to define, what functions they can see or what tools they have access to or what views they have access to. Perfect Mind Permission is the most powerful permission tool you will be able to find guaranteed in the industry. There is literally no one even near close to the same level that we are with permissions. It's to a level that even governments are looking into utilizing Perfect Mind for their purpose. It's very, very powerful. It's very advanced. Preferably, I don't want to mention it during this webinar because I know for 99% of you guys, it's absolutely not needed for you to know that function. It just creates more complexity. But for those of you who are that advanced, if you contact our support team, we'll be more than happy to show it to you. So Rob Pendergrass has asked, what is the difference between adding employees in the new manage staff section or under users and settings? I was told not to use manage login, but use the user selection under settings. I don't recommend using the user selection anymore. We're actually going to change this very, very soon to just show the employees. The reason why is users was only access to Perfect Mind. Now we're talking about employees, which has access to a lot of different places. In the past, you had to create a user and then create an employee and then create also an instructor. So you had to actually probably re-input the same information in 3 different places. With managed staff, we've actually combined all those sections into one. So you'll be able to add one record and you'll be able to generate the login credential in addition to make them available for your selection in calendar as an instructor and also for your time cards as an employee. And all your old employees will also show up under, managing staff members. I know some of you guys that have been on our beta program have mentioned that you see some duplicated contacts here. We're going to be fixing that for you in the next within the next 24 hours, actually. Jackie Tullier has asked if staff is terminated, does that delete their event in the calendar? No, it will not, because usually, actually it depends. If they're the owner of the event, if they're the owner of the event, yes, it won't delete it, it will hide it. But if they're just assigned as an instructor to that event, it will not, because that's probably just, you need to update it, essentially. Question has asked if we can choose more than one pay rate per employee. Absolutely. You can choose, for example, per attendee and also hourly. Another question about multiple pay rates. Absolutely, you can have multiple ones. But on the event, you can only apply one pay rate per event, if that makes sense. Can gift cards be used for memberships? Absolutely can. Okay, a little bit longer question, so give me one moment, everyone, so I can just quickly read it. Oh, actually, same question. Regarding pay rates, can you combine them? Yes, you can combine them, just longer to say the same thing. And in regards to 24-hour report, yes, you can add multiple email addresses. You just have to put a semicolon and then the next email in the email app. So when you go to the schedule inbox and here when you're editing it, you can just essentially, put a semicolon and type in your next email address, email at perfectmind.com, and go from there. Duncan Richardson has asked, I don't see the same options under the settings for staff, to be able to generate login or pay rates. It's not under settings, Mr. Richardson. You would have to go under employees, under more, and manage staff member to see it there. This is where those options are, not under users under settings. They will be in future there too, but it's just not there right now. Louisa has asked how to set up a pay if there are 2 instructors assigned to teaching the same class. Right now, we don't support that, but that is a phase 2 of our pay rate to be able to also cover multiple staff members per event. We know it's a very unique situation, during our interviews, so the focus was to release this phase first and then improve it on future phases. The question has been asked, how do employees, mark their own time card? So there's 2 options. Either A, they go perfect scan and just type in their, name or, ID number, or they go on their time clock or manage staff to click on the time in, time out button. Maddie Strauss has asked, can I add my own logo? You can absolutely do that. They're just documents, essentially. They're, gift card merge documents that you can update. They're HTML. However, in order for you to keep the look, I don't recommend going to your logo, or updating the logo. It does contain your organization name. You can add the organization logo as well, but that means you have to completely redesign this. And if that is the case, Champions Way or Perfect Mind does not support customization on the design of this. We've made the design so it works for everyone. If you're knowledgeable enough and you have the necessary resources to be able to generate your own, absolutely, you'll be able to create as many templates as you want with whatever format that you want. But by default, this is what it comes out of the package. John, you added that you created, I guess, the view or the list under Office. Well, Office would be the first in the past when the old navigation. Office was the main app suite, and then there was different apps under Office, such as contacts, emails, and things like that. All those apps remain exactly the same. It's just been reorganized. So if you created your view under contacts, you would be able to find it under Manage Contacts. If you created your list under email, you would be able to find it under Send Email. If you're still having challenges with that, if you contact our support team, we'll be happy to take a look. Let me see. If a customer loses their gift card, can it be reprinted? Actually, I believe it can. Let me just, to be honest with you, this is the first time I'm doing this as well. As long as they have the number, obviously they'll be able to generate it. But I would have to get back to you on it, actually, Julie, to tell you exactly if that's possible or not. I believe it is. What you're always able to do, they don't need to actually have their physical gift card. What you're able to do, you also are able to go to reports. You'll be able to go to money, gift card sales, or gift card usage. And as you see here, it shows all the purchases and the gift card number. They'll be able to easily view here, and as long as they have the number, they can make a sale. I think you have a good suggestion. I think here, when you click on it, we should have also a print button that enables you to print the gift card again. I'll definitely have our guys take a look at that. All right. So there's been a question on the castle, essentially, legislation for emails. So with the question is from Nate. The question is, so with the castle or CASL, if someone simply glosses past the email PM sends them, allowing them to opt in and deletes the email without clicking I agree, will we be barred from sending them any emails after July 1st when the legislation kicks in? How would they recommend we ensure that? The rules are very complex. It depends actually where you got the email address from. Did it come from your website? So did the person actually inquire about your services? And then there's a duration that for 30 days without their permission you can contact them. And then after a certain period of time you're not able to. So it's a very, very complex actually rules and regulations. Even if they actually opt in and after a year, they don't purchase your services, you're not able to contact them again. It's very, very complex. So I would highly recommend reading the Canada anti-spam law legislation rules and regulations first. There's a good infographic about it as well that explains everything. So get a better understanding what it is. It's very complex. We can speak about it on hours if you go over it. But the system will automatically send an opt-in link, and it will try a couple of times. So you don't get into any trouble. But it will reduce the number of people that you can contact for sure. But from the other hand, the people that you are going to contact and do get your email due to the fact that they get less spam emails. All of us in Canada now, we're not going to get as many spam emails as before. So your news or your message will actually reach them much better than before. Robert Serrano has asked if all the features are enabled in Perfect Mind that we just talked about. Yes, all the features were released last night, sir. The only thing that you might not have, sir, is a new navigation, and if you don't have that, you will receive it soon. For anyone under the martial art industry, you guys should all have it. If you're still in the martial art industry and have the martial art solution on Perfect Mind and don't have the navigation, you'll have it very shortly. For those of you in yoga, dance, music, and other industries, you'll receive it in the next few days. Rob has asked for gift cards. What is the best way to print out and looks professionally? I assume it's printed out on a piece of paper. It's right now it's been developed to be just printed on a regular piece of paper. In the future, on our phase 2, we're going to actually allow it to integrate into um, you know, general cards. So you'll be able to actually buy plastic cards and be able to make the sale there. Louisa has asked that currently all of our products, or example uniforms with different sizes, show up separately. Louisa, last month we actually released a function to be able to enable to help with that. As long as you create your products with the same name and add in your size and color here on the proper fields, you have a view called size and color view, and I can show you can customize your other views like that as well. You will have all those products grouped together. So see here when I have karate uniform, it says $90 up to $100, and see all buying options. By me clicking on that, it brings me to this screen which allows me to select the size and color for it. So this function has already been released to work like that. All right, a lot of actually good, awesome. Seems like a lot of you guys are happy with the new features. We're happy to deliver them. Chris Murphy has asked if those cards will be available for sale through Champions Way. Are you talking about gift cards or are you talking about plastic cards? If plastic cards, we're not probably going to have them available for sale. We can definitely recommend you to suppliers that have them. You can purchase it from any supplier, local or outsourced. Robert has asked if the recording will get sent to them faster than if they attend. It will essentially be sent to everyone as soon as it's ready. So we'll work on getting it ready in the next little while and sending it out. Rob has asked if I can explain about the birthday sorting. So essentially, it just sorts everyone by the proper birthday. So first ordered by the month and then the day. So previously, if you, essentially, if you had this specific format, which was the day and then the month, it was showing all the 10ths together and then all the 11ths together. Doesn't matter the month. So moving forward, how it's going to be, the day and the month is going to be connected to each other, so it sorts it more properly, essentially. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, I think we've answered all the questions. We still actually have a lot of people in the room, so thank you for taking interest in listening to me for the last hour and a half. We went actually way beyond our previous schedule. I hope you guys all enjoyed these features and basically these functions, and there's a lot more that we will be releasing in the next little while. We're very, very excited. Our development team have been doing great in producing all the functions that you guys want. One of our exciting features that will be coming next in the next couple months is a complete new calendar with brand new online registration, which is going to by far make us the most strongest essentially calendar and booking app in the market. Significantly stronger than anyone else in the competition. Again, everything we do, everyone, is based on your feedback. So your feedbacks are very essential in our development of our applications and making things better. One examples that you saw today, a lot of them will have and were generated based on your feedback. So do definitely keep them coming in and help us to become better. And if you have any suggestions, any things you see, anything that you think it could make your life easier with Perfect Mind, definitely let us know. Till then, until next month to cover the next essentially release. It was great having you guys here, and I thank you on behalf of Champions Way, and thank you for attending. See you guys next time.